Welcome once again to Mutanu's Kitchen. Today we are traveling to the coast. We are making a Swahili dish, very delicious, so simple to make. This dish always reminds me of my mom and my auntie because they make it so perfectly. And it is so simple to make, uses just a few ingredients. So we start by boiling our meat with about half a teaspoon of salt so that it has a taste and flavor, and another half teaspoon of pilau masala. So we can start preparing our ingredients. Going to crush our garlic. Once the meat has boiled and is ready, you remove it from your sufuria. You can start frying the onions. In the same sufuria, you put in your cooking oil. Next, your onions. And let them cook. Remember to keep stirring so that the onions on the edges of the pot do not burn. We want them to brown evenly. So let's keep stirring so that they brown evenly. And remember, we want our onions to caramelize. We don't want them to burn. So they should be a nice brown. Once they've browned nicely and slightly, we add in our cumin seeds and keep stirring. Here we have our cardamom pods. They usually come when they are closed like this. but we want to open them up to release the flavor. So we'll just crush them so that we can release the seeds inside where all the flavor is. So once you've crushed them, just add them in. And you see how beautiful our onions look. They're very nicely browned. So you can reduce the heat at this point so that they do not burn. Next, add in your crushed garlic and keep stirring. Then add in your pilau masala. And your turmeric powder. I like to add turmeric because it gives a very nice yellow to my pilau. Lastly, we're going to add in our boiled meat. Remember, it was already fully cooked. It's already very soft. So we're just going to let it mix up with those spices. Let the flavors marry nicely. Then we will add in our 4 cups of water. We're using 2 cups of rice, so the water, we're going to use 4 cups of water. So now you can add the heat so that the water boils. Then add in 1 teaspoon of salt. This depends on your taste and preference. If you prefer less salt, you can use less salt. Then it's now time to add in our rice. So now we have washed our rice and it is nice and clean. So it's nice and clean. There is no water in the rice. It's dry also. We can now put it inside our mixture. It's high heat, just let it cook. Once the rice has soaked the water like that, you reduce the heat and cover. So you let it cook until all the water is completely soaked and your rice is nice and fluffy and ready to eat. The rice is finally ready. It smells and looks delicious. Now switch off the heat, cover and let it rest for about 5 minutes as we prepare our chopped dania and kachumbari. Look at that. Wow, it is beautiful, so fluffy. The grains, the mchele is moja moja. It looks so good. That meat is so soft, it just pierces through the fork. What? I can't wait to eat this. That meat looks so juicy and tender. It looks so delicious and it smells amazing. Ona hiyo mchele moja moja. Very nice. So now we can add in our chopped dania. And the reason we add it at this point is so that it retains that bright green color. We don't want it to turn black or brown. We want it to be nice and bright green to give a nice contrast with that yellow, sunset yellow of the pilau. Very, very beautiful. So we can finally serve. So you guys bring your plates and let's eat. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been your host, Chef Stella Mutanu. Please join us again for this and many, many more recipes.